Hi, this is Jamie, and I am responding for week 2, our discussion question. So the first part, I chose to identify at least 2 types of written communication that are common in my field. So I chose emails and reports. I do a lot of emails. I use email dozens of times a day, and now even more when I and others are working from home. In the text on page 344, workplace emails are addressed. The text states the importance of striving for professional excellence when using email. So I try to use the tips that are listed in the chapter, especially when initiating a conversation that has some importance. So for example, today I wrote an email to my boss requesting that I would be able to work from home more than I have been because I've moved. So I was careful to start the email with a greeting, and then to give her some background information. The fact that we have moved further north and that it would make my commute twice as long. In the body, I explained how I would be able to accomplish the work from home, as well as how often I would hope to be able to come in. Then in the closing, I reiterated to my boss how much I appreciate her and the job that they've entrusted me with, and that I let her know that I understand this schedule might not be ideal for the team, and that, I understand that, and we can maybe work out just how it's going to work in the future. I asked her to consider my request and thanked her for her support and her leadership. So when I initially wrote the email, I went through and, of course, reread it. I found typos. When I proofread, I revised a few times to correct even the tone. I found that at first the tone was too abrupt, and the email needed to be cushioned, and also just to change the tone to be more respectful and requesting, and not demanding or anything. Another form of written communication that the chapter discusses is reports. I've written reports. In fact, last quarter I wrote a report that was for school, but also I used in my workplace. And the school, for the class, it was supposed to be written as if to your workplace, and so it actually worked out really well because I needed to write a report concerning a pilot project that I have headed up, and it came at just the right time for me to turn that into my boss. And the interesting part is that I received more positive feedback from my work and my boss than I did from my instructor, so that was enlightening. In the end, she pays my bills, so anyway, but it was good. It was a good experience. The book also addresses memos in this chapter, and I find that memos comes up quite a bit in business communication, formatting and all of that, and that's fine and great, and I need to learn how to do that better. The interesting part that I have is that I've been working for my employer, who is a leader in Spokane Regional Health District, for 5 years, and I've never seen a memo. So I don't know if it's just the field that I'm in or what, but I've never seen a memo used within the workplace, but that's okay. I'll learn how to write them and move on. So then the other section I chose was discussing the importance of workplace and professional communication. So the importance of workplace and professional communication, in the book, the authors suggest that the message structure, clarity, and presentation are important writing skills to develop in order to achieve excellent communication. That's on page 327. My own experience is that written communication tends to either add to your competency as an employee or take away from it. So when I see or I have written forms of communication that are full of typos and errors, it degrades either my perceived skill, if I'm the one, or the perceived skill of the other person. Some examples of failure in this area. When I first started my employment, we have to do record keeping within a client's folder, file, I guess. Sorry, it's late. Their file that's in the computer, so it's saved electronically. Well, I often would do quick notes and not always capitalize. Kind of like what you would do on a sticky note. Just I talked to the person. Anyway, not punctuating correctly. And so that was something that was addressed with me, that this is electronically saved. It gives other people in the workplace are reading it, even it's audited, and so we want to communicate professionally. So I felt really bad and silly and terrible, but I did learn to do that, and I'm better about that now. Of course, I got really good, and then you sort of start to slack off again. The funny thing is, we have a new program that where I record my notes actually is a sticky note, like it's an electronic sticky note, and so that even more tends to encourage me to be less professional, because on a sticky note, you don't need to worry about capitals and punctuation or whatever, but I still try to do that because I know that's important to my workplace. A success, just a quick little thing that wasn't really a big deal, but I was working in a new department and receiving instructions daily, like you have a new client, check the spreadsheet, and you'll get the information. And it was always important for us to respond back when we were alerted that we have a new client. So in this situation, after I guess a couple weeks in this new role, the person who was the one assigning clients sent me an email, or in her email she commented that she always enjoyed reading my emails because they were so pleasant, and that she looked forward to them every day. And to me, that was huge. That was a really big applause, and I appreciated that a lot, and I think about it every time that I send an email. So I try to keep them friendly and the tone, positive. So there you go. Thank you.